Let me tell you this, it's a bitter pill to swallow, but you're where you are today because you have decided consciously, unconsciously to be where you are. I'm going to say that again, and before you switch this off on me, listen to me. You are where you are not because life forced you to be where you are. You're where you are because you consciously decided to be where you are, or you unconsciously accepted to be where you are. Hi, this is Akintola Samuel. So we started a discourse yesterday on the 7 decisions successful people make. And we said the first decision successful people make is that they decide to be courageous. You see, your decisions and not your conditions is what determines your destiny. Your decisions, not your circumstances, not your pedigree, not the disadvantages you grew up with, not what your uncle didn't do for you, not the promise your aunt failed to fulfill. These are not the things that determines your destiny. What determines your destiny are the decisions you make on a daily and consistent basis. You see, there are people who don't have the privileges you have. Someone might be saying, oh, I never grew up with any privileges. Well, you might be surprised because there are things that you had going on for you growing up that a lot of people didn't have going on for them. And some of these things are privileges. Some people never grew up with their parents. Some people never even had the privilege of knowing who their parents were. But you see, they turned out successful. I remember reading the story of an alcoholic father who had, 2 boys, twins. And years down the line, one of the twins turned out like his father, an alcoholic. You see, a failure, a concern to the society. And his brother turned out unlike the father. He became successful, working in a corporate environment with a good job, married with kids, responsible children. And a journalist interviewed the twins separately years later. They asked the failure, the one that turned out like his father, an alcoholic, why did you turn out like your father? He said, I had no choice. I simply became an expression, a manifestation of all I was exposed to growing up. That made sense to the journalist. In a separate interview with the other brother that turned out successful, they asked him, why did you turn out successful? What did you do differently? You see, how come your brother turned out like your father, but you turned out unlike your father? And he said, well, I grew up seeing failure all around me. I grew up seeing an alcoholic father, and I made up my mind I didn't want my past to repeat itself in my future. So you see what happened there? Same circumstances, different decisions. So it is not your condition, it's not your circumstances, it's not the environmental limitations that determines your destiny. It is the conscious decision you make on a daily basis, because whether you like it or not, everyone is making decisions on a daily basis. You decided to watch this video. You decided to wake up from bed this morning. You could have stayed in bed, or probably you're still in bed. You decided to go to work or not. You decided to take a bus, or maybe take a Uber or whatever. You decided to eat, or probably you're fasting. Whatever. You decided to do whatever it is you're doing now. Let me tell you this. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but you're where you are today because you have decided consciously, unconsciously to be where you are. I'm going to say that again. And before you switch this off on me, listen to me. You are where you are, not because life forced you to be where you are. You're where you are because you consciously decided to be where you are, or you unconsciously accepted to be where you are. Either ways, you are here because of your decisions. So number 1, successful people decide to be courageous. Number 2, they decide to start from where they are. Everyone is going to be dealt a different hand in life. Some people are going to be born with a silver spoon. Some are going to be born with a wooden spoon. Some are even going to be born with no spoon. You see that? But whatever hand life deals you right, you must make up your mind to start from where you are. Whatever you don't have, you don't need for your next level. I'm going to say that again because I want it to sink in. Whatever you don't have right now, you don't need for your next level. Whatever it is that you need to get to your next level, most likely is already in your hand. When David needed to confront Goliath, and he needed to confront Goliath for him to get to his next level, David didn't have to use Saul's hammer. He didn't have to use Saul's sword. He simply used what he already had, the sling and the stone that was available within his reach. God would never put what you need for your next level beyond your reach. He will put it within your reach, so that in stretching out for it, you grow into somebody else. You become a better version of who you already are. So you need to understand, successful people decide to be courageous. Number two, successful people decide to start from where they are. If you don't start from where you are, you'll be full of excuses. And there's this French saying that those who excuse themselves, they accuse themselves. An excuse is often a reason wrapped up in a lie. So you've got to decide to start from where you are. The question is, are you going to start from where you are? If you've enjoyed today's episode, why don't you share it with someone? Share the link, subscribe to this channel. If you haven't, click on the bell icon, right, so that you can be notified when the next video drops. All right, so I'll see you tomorrow. Remember to tell someone about this. We're going to continue tomorrow. I'm going to be sharing with you the third and the fourth decisions successful people make that separates them from the pack. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.